Hey everybody, welcome to the Prime 4 podcast. My name is Bryce, and today we got a unique episode for you where it is just me. We're practicing social distancing, so everybody is currently at their homes, and we do not have a way right now figured out to where we can remote record an audio podcast for you. We don't all have webcams, so we're not going to be doing that. This will end up being audio only on YouTube, as well as all the other outlets that we're normally on, like SoundCloud, iTunes, and all that. So hopefully this will be a short episode, so you don't have to hear me drone on too much about news, because we won't have any feedback from the guys to counter my ideas and my attitude. So to start off with hip-hop, we got a new surprise Childish Gambino album, or Donald Glover. I don't know if he wants to still be called Childish Gambino, but he dropped that on 3/15/20, and the album is currently being called 3/15/20, and it appeared on a website. I can't remember the name of the website, but it was taken down shortly after that. But people recorded it, obviously, and you could find it on YouTube and stuff like that. I personally haven't listened to it, but I haven't heard I haven't heard any negative things about the album yet. So if you're interested in some new Childish Gambino, definitely check that out. There was a little bit of some spat going on, some beef or some shots fired from Jay Electronica and Joe Budden. Who gives a shit? Honestly, I talked shit on the Jay Electronica album on our last episode because we did miss last week's episode, also due to social distancing. But I mean, they're just going back and forth on Twitter. Like, who really cares? Joe Budden's just saying, like, I never heard of your shit, whatever. And, I mean, Jay-Z was on that album, so Joe Budden was just saying, Jay-Z was on your album, he mopped you up, dude, on your own fucking album. It's like, okay, calm the fuck down for one. Jay-Z did feature a lot on that album. Honestly, he was the better part of that album, and I'm a Jay-Z hater, so that coming from me, probably says something, but, my opinion doesn't mean shit to anybody anyway. So, whatever. Check it out if you want to see some beef. I'm sure it's over with. I'm sure they, Jay Electronica appeared on Joe Budden's album or something, and they shook hands and hugged and shit and said it was a misunderstanding. But we'll see where that goes in the future. Scarface, rapper from Ghetto Boys from Texas, he tests positive for COVID-19, the coronavirus. So I wish him the best and a full recovery, because that's fucked up. We're now to the point where it's infecting so many people that celebrities are, and world leaders, including Boris Johnson or whatever, is getting it. And it's just eye-opening. It just shows you how serious it is, because normally you think of celebrities and world leaders as like untouchable people with, the best protection and all the money, and they're just getting sick like everybody else. So, I mean, I wish Scarface a speedy recovery on that. Joyner Lucas, finally. Oh, by the way, I'm going to try to not talk about politics, because there's a lot of shit going on, and it's just me, so I don't have my echo chamber here saying, yeah, Republicans are shit and conservatives suck dick. So, I mean, if I don't have that, it's just going to be me, talking propaganda and shit, of course. But, back to hip-hop. Joyner Lucas finally released ADHD as a full album. Do you remember the song Isis from Joyner Lucas featuring Logic? And it had a music video, and I think it was like last year. That's on this album. He was slowly releasing the project, trickling out the songs, where every song had a music video that went with it. So it was a long process, I guess, but the album is finally fully released. And I believe the new album only has a few new songs on it that people actually haven't heard from all the tracks that were trickling out. So, I mean, I like Joyner Lucas. I haven't listened to this album yet. I do plan on doing it at some point. But if you're interested in Joyner Lucas, check it out. You can always watch the music video ISIS featuring Logic. It's pretty interesting. It's a cool song, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. So that's it for hip hop, pretty much. There's not much going on. There's a lot of new albums coming out, but honestly, they're from rappers with Lil in the name and a drug, like Lil Poppin' Molly or Xanax Trippin' Syrup or something. Like, I honestly don't even know who these rappers are, but there's a lot of fresh albums dropping that I saw on Reddit at least. If you're interested in any new rappers, up and coming rappers, just Google it. You'll probably find something and you might like it. So who knows? But we're a little far behind on the times, especially when it comes to gaming. And that is that the Xbox and the PS5 both leaked their specs. And from what's coming out, it's pretty much up in the air, because when the specs release, people just want to say, oh, Xbox is better, PS5 is better, look at these numbers. And that's what, people normally do, especially when it came to the PS4, Xbox One, when it was the Xbox 360 versus the PS3. Nintendo, by the way, never was competition. They don't give a shit about that. They just want to release their family games and their cash cows and their Zeldas, their Marios, their repeats, their three-peats, four-peats, 10-peats, whatever the fuck they got going on now. Mario Party 8. They don't care. They're never in the race for what top console is in terms of power, whether it be graphics or whatever. And so it's always pretty much between Xbox and Sony or PlayStation. So when these numbers came out, they're fairly close together. They really are. In terms of numbers, bigger numbers, it seems like the Xbox is in the lead in that regard. But people are hesitant to say that, oh, Xbox is going to win. They have the bigger numbers. Let me, I am actually in front of my computer right now. Let me Google something for you. Xbox versus PS5 specs or something. Let's see if we can find a quick comparison image for you so I could pull this up. Okay. So if this is the truth, I have no idea. So this is the first image that pulls up is apparently from Reddit. Also keep in mind that we do not know what the PS5 will look like, and people definitely care about that too. The Xbox looks like a tower, just a uniform black tower, which it looks sleek. The look doesn't interest me in the least, but that's just me. I'm trying to think of a console where like I cared about what it looked like. To me, the Xbox 360 looked like shit. It would just look like a white, cheap piece of shit. The PS3 to me looked like a fingerprint masterpiece. Like, it was just shiny black plastic that if you touched it, your fingerprints were on there forever. That was just how it looked. And to me, it looked like they were trying a little too hard with how flashy it was. I mean, the Nintendo Switch is good. I like how that looks because it's just a handheld in the end. But back onto the specs, PS5 versus Xbox Series X. Stupid fucking name, by the way, for the Xbox. I don't think anybody will disagree with that. But looking at the specs, it looks like the Xbox has the bigger numbers, which people who don't really know what's going on and how computers work, how consoles work, and all that shit, they'll see that the Xbox Series X has a GPU of 12 teraflops. Okay? So that's the numbers that are being thrown around. Who has the most teraflops? Is it the Xbox Series X or is it the PS5? PS5 only has 10.28 teraflops. Xbox Series X has 12 teraflops, which means it's absolutely better. But that these are different things. First off, anybody throwing out that comparison, like this one has more teraflops, ask them what a teraflop actually is, and they'll be like, well, it's, it's this. It means speed. It means speed, it's carrying shit, right? It's got over 1 teraflop on it to carry shit, The Xbox Series X is just carrying shit, dude. It's like a fucking bodybuilder, dude. It's carrying shit. And, that's where they're at. And you can read more into it. PS5, 10.28 teraflops, 36 CUs at 2.23 gigahertz variable frequency. Xbox Series X has 12 teraflops, 52 CUs at 1.825 gigahertz custom RDNA 2 GPU. Now, if you ask me, Bryce, what the fuck does any of that mean? I will admit to you that I have no fucking idea because I'm not an expert. So me being a stupid fucking consumer, I would see that and I would be like, wow, 12 teraflops, dude. Xbox has got this. The fucking bodybuilder, dude. He's got over 1 teraflop on that fucking PS5. That's what I'm picking. 52 CUs versus 36 CUs? I don't give a shit about what the gigahertz say. I don't even know what an RDNA 2 GPU is, but I know it's better than the fucking PS5. It ain't got no RDNA 2 GPU anyway. So obviously it's worse. I mean, that's what I would say as a stupid fucking consumer. But when it comes down to it, this is the graphics processing unit, by the way, the GPU. So it's, what calculates the graphics. And as a consumer, I would see the 12 teraflops say, yeah, it's better. But in the end, the gigahertz PS5 has that, higher gigahertz variable frequency. That means it's more versatile. I do not actually know what the RDNA 2 GPU is. But in the end, when it comes down to this, they pretty much have the same RAM. They both have, or memory. They both have 16 gigabyte GDDR6. Xbox has bus, PS5 has bit, whatever. I don't even know what the fuck that means, so I'm not an expert. I'm just talking. So as a consumer, both 16 gigabytes. That's what I believe in. Memory bandwidth, who gives a shit? Internal storage. Xbox seems to have the higher storage with the 1 terabyte custom NVMe SSD, and PS5 has an 825 gigabyte SSD. But what SSDs are they using? What are the speeds on those SSDs? See, as a consumer, they won't know. They'll see 1 terabyte compared to 825 gigabytes, and they'll be like, wow, that's bigger. So that's what I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy that Xbox. And the power or the I/O throughput, whatever, don't even know what that means. So I don't care. Expandable storage. The PlayStation has the NVMe SSD slot. So it can expand with memory that is like that Xbox internal NVMe SSD. This is really fucking boring, I know. The Xbox also has expandable storage with a 1 terabyte expansion card, and it matches the internal storage exactly. So that can also be extended. We're looking at USB external, who gives a shit. Both have 4K UHD Blu-ray drives. So when we're looking at all this, as a consumer, Xbox has bigger numbers, right? But in the end, it doesn't matter what the console has. It has always been about how a game developer can utilize the most out of those specs or tweak it to where, like, find, a cheat or something where they can use more memory than what is intended on the PS5. For example, Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation. To be able to make Crash Bandicoot work, they needed more memory, and they didn't have it on the PlayStation. So what the developers did was they started deleting, like when you ran the game, they would start deleting stuff from, like, I can't remember exactly, but I'm going to sound stupid. But they're, like always, but they're essentially deleting stuff from the PlayStation memory when the game is running and taking that to run the game itself. So let's say I have so much memory dedicated to running the PlayStation, the UI, the operating system, and then I have only this much to work with the game. the game pretty much took from that operating system memory to run the game itself. And they found that backdoor able to do it. So when it comes down to it, it all depends on how the developers will use this and how easy it is to create a game on these systems, which I don't think there's much word about that yet, about what the developers are doing. So right now, I will not pick one over the other. PS4 absolutely dominated this last generation of console. So I would expect the PS5 to continue to have those unique games that are exclusive to the system. But Microsoft has also been working towards having exclusives on the Xbox. So maybe they'll be able to step it up this cycle and be able to compare to the PS5. We don't know yet. We'll just have to see. But I want both. Right now, I want both because I will not buy both, maybe not even one of them, but I do want both right now because they're both interesting. I do want to play Halo, even though I haven't played Halo since Halo 3. Well, technically Reach, but that's a different story. PS4, I wanted to play because of all the exclusives. And PS5, I have a feeling they're going to have exclusives too, and I'm going to want to play those. And that's essentially how, we've talked about this plenty of times, but that's essentially how the company gets you to buy their system, is they have those exclusive games. Like, you can only play Last of Us 2 on the PS4, PS5, whatever. So someone who has an Xbox and is interested in playing that game, they're like, well, fuck, I gotta buy a PS5 or a PS4 to be able to play just that one game. And to me, it's not worth it. It's not worth buying every single system, paying, thousands of dollars to buy every system just to be able to play one game that you may like or may not like. So, we'll just keep an eye on that. Hopefully when the guys are back, we'll be able to talk about that more and have a better idea of what we're looking at. And Alex usually digs deep into how consoles actually work and the specs for them. He knows more about that stuff. So hopefully he can shed some light on what we're actually looking at when we compare these two systems. To get back into gaming and not this boring shit, Call of Duty released another Battle Royale game called Call of Duty Warzone. And if you remember correctly, they had Call of Duty Blackout, which I thought was awesome. It was my favorite Battle Royale, but my friends just didn't want to play it. They're like, they get stuck in their ways. They played... PUBG was the first Battle Royale they played. And PUBG is absolute garbage. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. It's garbage. Fun sometimes, but garbage. If in the grand scheme of things, PUBG is shit. But they're just like, no, I'm playing PUBG, dude. It's the first one I play. It's the only thing that exists. All these other copiers and shit. And like, PUBG copied. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing, dude? Who knows? But this Warzone, it looks good. It reminds me of Blackout. And they have, of course, their unique mechanic, because every single Battle Royale game released has to have their own unique mechanic, which Fortnite will steal, but they have their own mechanic, and that's what makes it new. That's what makes it unique. That's what makes you want to play that Battle Royale. And in Warzone, you have, standard issue Call of Duty gameplay, which is really good. I love the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 multiplayer, Blackout 4, or Call of Duty Blackout. It's the exact same thing as Black Ops 4 for multiplayer. In Warzone, when you get downed, you go into a prison, the Gulag, and you're able to 1v1 someone. I believe you get a random weapon or some shit like that. You're able to 1v1 someone, and then if you win, you get to come back out. And if you lose, I think a player can like someone on your team can pay money that they've earned during the match to resurrect you or to respawn you with nothing, kind of like Apex Legends, right? So that's interesting. That's pretty cool. So when you're killing people, stuff like that, I guess you earn money and you can spend that towards resurrecting players and I believe upgrades and maybe shit like that. I'm not 100% on that. Oh, they have the chests, the random chests or whatever that you would find in like other Call of Duty games like Call of Duty Zombies and stuff. You can pay currency to open those, I believe, and you could get items from that. I personally haven't played it. I've watched it played. It looks very interesting. I might try it if, some of my other friends can pick it up. But right now, I don't see that happening. I know I currently got back into World of Warcraft retail. This was not my idea. I wasn't planning on it until the new expansion to try. But my girlfriend, my beautiful girlfriend, was gracious enough to get me a subscription to World of Warcraft. So I'm currently playing that again right now. So some of my other games have taken to the wayside. I wasn't really playing anything, but right now I don't see like I have room to get addicted to a battle royale. I still play my Diablo 2, of course, do my magic runs and stuff like that. But right now, I won't be probably picking up Warzone for a little while. But if my friends do, maybe I won't have a choice. Maybe I'll have to play a couple hours a night, and we can talk about it on the podcast, about our experiences with that. So that's it I got for video games. There's not much going on there. The coronavirus has delayed the release of a lot of games, a lot of movies, and the consoles themselves, the PS5 and the Xbox. So with all these shut-ins and stuff that we're doing, these non-essential businesses closing, our economy is going to take a very huge hit. We will go into another recession. It is going to be really bad. And I hope that we just get through this together. And thinking about gaming and stuff during this time and like in the future being able to buy these consoles and stuff kind of seems, frivolous with everything that's going on. But I mean, you got to live your life. Even through this, you got to live your life. Life just doesn't shut down because there's a virus. You may have to stay home, but you're going to be bored. So, you do you. We'll get through this together. Right now in Minnesota, we currently have the 2-week shutdown. Where we're asked to stay inside. They're not enforcing it, of course. Grocery stores are open and essential businesses, in quotations, are open, including my company, so I get to go into work because I work for an essential business. It pretty much the only things that are shutting down are entertainment businesses. So, like, bars are shutting down, movie theaters are shutting down, fucking what else? Some are just going out of business. Stores, just because they can't remain open, they can't take this hit of being closed for a month or losing that much business for multiple months. So some are even closing down because of this. But restaurants, fast food, they're all doing, drive-through or curbside pickup. Food Dudes is still trying their damnedest to deliver to people. Even Chipotle, where you walk in and order, they got dine out. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. Grocery stores are still open. You can still drive around and go grocery shopping and shit. It's just that you can't go to a movie theater. You shouldn't go to work if you don't have to. You can work from home if, your company actually allows it, which most don't want you to know that you can work from home. But we'll get through this. Don't worry about that. We'll get through this. It'll be shitty and it'll get worse, but we will get through it in the end. So while you're at home, if you're chilling, if you're on the in the mandatory shutdown, on the mandatory shutdown, however you want to word that, you're going to get bored. So we got some video games, talked about video games, whatever. Play your fucking video games. Play your World of Warcraft, whatever. But when it comes to movies and TV shows, what are you going to do? There's a ton out there. We got Disney or Pixar releasing, what was that movie called? Outward? Or Onward? It looked like garbage to me, but it's a kid's movie, of course. So they released, it was like in the movie theaters for a week, and they already released it to stream. So movies are going to take a really huge hit, and I hope they bounce back because we got Quiet Place 2 coming, we got Bond pushed back. I hope they make this. I really do. But you're at home, so streaming's all you got. And right now, I'm not even streaming that much because I'm still working and stuff, so nothing's really slowed down for me. But I did finish Castlevania Season 3. It's really quick to get through. It's on Netflix, and it was dope. It is an anime or an American-Japanese cartoon. It's an anime, whatever. It's the same style as, you would see an anime, but it's English. It's really good. If you like Season 1 and 2 of Castlevania, you'll definitely like Season 3. It went really quick for me, though, which sucked. I can't remember how many episodes it was. I think it's like 8 or 10, but they're like, it's got to be 8 episodes, like half-hour piece. And I'm like, watching 1 or 2 a night. And I got through it really quickly before I went to bed for work, watch 1 or 2. And it was over just like that, left on a cliffhanger. And I'm like, fuck, like, that sucks. I wish we could get bigger episodes for that show, but I understand that animation is really hard and difficult and time-consuming, costly for companies to keep shitting those out like that, especially high-quality ones like Castlevania, which I would consider high quality because it looks really good. But I was hoping for hour-long episodes. I really was, but maybe season 4, because I'm sure it's renewed. I've only heard good things about it, and it's really good. But that's pretty much all that I've been watching. I watched The Boys again. If you have Amazon Prime, definitely check The Boys out. That's really good. We've talked about it multiple times on the podcast. Just take a look. Netflix, Prime, Hulu, whatever you got, check it out. Disney Plus, see what you like. Speaking of Disney Plus, Rosario Dawson is going to be in season 2 of The Mandalorian as, let me actually Google this because I don't know what the hell the name of that character is. Osaka Tano or Ahsoka Tano. Rosario Dawson's playing that. The Ahsoka Tano character is from the animated Star Wars shows that they did before, which one was it called? They had like Rebels and Clone Wars. I can't remember which one she is, but that's a character from the animated series from Star Wars. And Rosario Dawson will be playing her live action in The Mandalorian season 2. And I love me some Rosario Dawson. So that's exciting, especially because I love the show The Mandalorian. So we'll see where that goes. And I was supposed to be getting my baby Yoda figure in the mail. I believe this month. They got like 3 more days before this month is over. So I have no idea when I'm actually going to be seeing that figure. But that's okay, because we are going through tough times. One thing I did notice, if you're not using Amazon Prime to watch movies and you don't order enough shit on Amazon, you should definitely cancel your Amazon Prime. Amazon is obviously the devil. We know that. And they're doing shady shit during this coronavirus. And they've also removed, they don't have Prime shipping on a lot of items, but delivery is still free for Prime members. But I'm trying to buy something like the other day, like I need an Ethernet cable, and I go on Prime, and I'm looking for only Prime, and I'm like, oh, this cable looks good. Let me check that sucker out. And they're like, we'll get that to you April 14th. And I'm like, wait, what? But it's under Prime, but it's Prime, but not Prime. It's free delivery for Prime members, so they put it under Prime. So you got to make sure you're looking at that. But they got rid of a lot of the 2-3 day shipping on the majority of items, I'm assuming, because of the coronavirus and just all the shit that they're going through right now and how backed up with shipping they are, because I'm sure people are going nuts. everybody's trying to work from home right now. If you go to your local Best Buy, Office Depot, Office Max, whatever, your office store, people are buying desks and office chairs and Ethernet cables left and right. I went there to Office Depot and Office Max looking for my Ethernet cable. I needed like minimum 25 foot. And they're like, no, we had a huge sale yesterday. People were coming in and out buying all the desks, all the office chairs, and all the Ethernet cables. So they were out of 25 foot plus. And I mean, that sucked for me, but I mean, everybody's trying to work from home, so can't blame them. But it's crazy. So I'm assuming the same thing, like people are buying out all this shit in stores, the same thing is going to be happening on Amazon Prime. I was looking for a new desk on Amazon Prime. Prime shipping was not even possible on 99% of all the desks for sale on Amazon. And the only ones that did have Prime, I'm assuming that the only items that have the actual 2 to 3 day shipping, Prime shipping, is going to be the items that are actually currently in the closest warehouse to where you live. So I think we have a warehouse fairly close to us in Minnesota. I can't remember where. They could definitely get it to us in a day. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they have next day shipping on items. But I'm pretty sure that the only items that we can order for Prime right now for us are the ones that are actually in that warehouse. Otherwise, it's back ordered. You have to wait for them to catch up, and that's like mid-April. So you don't want to be burning money with that, because Prime will still charge you for that shipping even though everybody's going through this stuff. I believe my Prime's still charged. My gym membership, which, God knows, I don't use that anymore. Virus gave me a great excuse to not go to the gym anymore. They froze all membership fees because they all closed down. And they're like, hey, we closed down. We're going to put a hold on all the fees. Membership fees. I'm like, that's cool. I guess Amazon's still open, so they could still charge a fee. Anyway, still sucks. Yeah, I'm an idiot. That makes complete sense that they would still charge because they're still actually open. So, yeah, never mind. I take that back. I walk that back. Amazon's fine to charge people. That's fine. But, yeah, I mean, if you're not using it, cancel it. I mean, pick it back up when you can actually order shit. I'm going to cancel mine until The Boys Season 2 comes out, probably. Pick that up. Binge watch it, shut her down, the usual. I don't use it enough. You have to use Prime a lot to be able to actually make your money back with it, which not a lot of people really think about that. If you're only ordering 4 items a month, you're not really watching Prime Video, it's not cost effective to actually be a member of Prime. You're better off just paying shipping for items. But you may not get that 2-day shipping. So who knows? I mean, just take it how you see it. I know Amazon, something crazy happened the other day. Amazon made a statement where they said they donated $25 million to a work fund for their employees that are struggling during the coronavirus, during this tough time. They're like, we donated $25 million. If you feel like donating, here's like a link. If you feel like donating to help this cause. They removed that. They removed the people suggesting that they also donate because they got blowback for that. A shit ton of blowback. They're like, you made $150 billion in profits and you paid $0 in taxes. You donated $25 million when your owner, your boss, your CEO, Jeff Bezos, is worth $140 billion himself. You donated $25 million and then suggested that other people also donate. It's like, what? Like, what kind of benefits are you even giving your fucking employees to, like, to me, the fact that they have to ask people to donate or suggest that people donate to help their employees means that they don't do enough for their employees themselves. So it's just, we know that Amazon's the devil. Shady shit. the devil. We know that. Hopefully people wise up and they start losing a lot of subscriptions and a lot of people stop using Amazon Prime. I know it is difficult as hell for me to stop using Amazon Prime. Even though like Walmart and Target, I think their websites, I think they even try to compete with that and do 2-day shipping and even free shipping over like $25 purchases or something. And I'm like, I still find myself going on the Prime app. And I'm like, I could just buy it right now. Could be at my house in 2 days. I don't have to look through fucking Target's website, Walmart's website. And I think that's the issue, is that the setup for Prime, especially with the app and on the website, is just so much easier to search for shit through Amazon than it is like Walmart or Target. So maybe that's it. Maybe they just need to update their website and people will be able to have more features, maybe better listings, carts, wish lists, shit like that. Maybe make it look better, easier to navigate, and people will use that more. But I don't know. We'll see how companies actually adapt to Amazon in the future, because Amazon's dominating. We know that. Disney's dominating. So, I mean, we'll see how companies have to adapt. Otherwise, they go the wayside. Unless the government mints 2 or $5 trillion to bail out Wall Street, big businesses, to pump that into the market so their precious Dow does not crash. Well, it worked for like, what was it, a day? I think we talked about it on the podcast. It was up like 1,900 points. It's been going down, down, down. It's done. Didn't even work. Now they're doing stimulus. Don't even get me started on the stimulus shit, people. I don't want to talk about the politics. I ain't got my echo chamber here to back me, but it's bullshit, dude. It is fucking bullshit. Like, the government's bullshit. These companies are fucking assholes bullshit. They're like, we're going to do, God, what was the stimulus package that they did? Like $2 trillion or something like that? Again, like another $2 trillion, and they're like, we're gonna give every adult in America that makes under 75,000, like, we're gonna give them $1,200. And it's like, well, if you do the math on that, that's like 300, like under 300 billion or something. I don't actually know the math, but it's under like 300 billion. It's like, where's the other money going? They're like, oh yeah, it's going to businesses, like small business loans where they have to pay interest back to get back and stuff. Like, it's fucking nuts to me, dude. It's crazy what's going on. Hopefully they figure that shit out. We'll see if that actually goes through the House. I know the Senate passed it. I think the House passed it, actually. So it may be happening. You may be getting that $1,200 check in the mail. There is stipulations with it, though, regarding your taxes. I don't know if it's actually like your 2020 tax return. I don't know if you're just getting that early, but there are stipulations where it does affect your 2020 tax returns. So I'm not going to speak on that because I can't even remember exactly what it was, but I know there was some stipulation with taxes. So for some people, this may be a stimulus. For some people, it's just early. It's just like your tax returns early. So like in 2020, you won't be getting as large of a tax return as you would normally. This is non-taxable though, but we'll see how it works. I think it has to do with income fluctuations and shit like that. So if you're making the same amount of money or less this year, you're probably good. You'll probably just get the $1,200 stimulus, then your normal tax returns at the end of this year. Start of next year, excuse me. But that's it. That's all I got for you, really. I do got a little story I guess I'll tell. It's not really important. It's not really that cool. But I purchased a t-shirt on a website the other day, and this was my bad because it was stupid of me. Like, I'm going to tell you this, and you're going to be like, well, no shit. What did you expect to happen? You fucking moron. Well, anyway, I was cruising YouTube, listening to some lo-fi, and so got this great, I'm not going to say what it is, but I got this great, lo-fi YouTube channel. And I'm like, oh, I like the visuals on this. Let me go check this out. So because it had a link to their website where they sold merchandise. So I'm like, let me go check that out. Let me get a fucking t-shirt. So I go there, I click it and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. This shirt looks awesome. This is like fucking Akira shit right here. Neo Tokyo and shit like that. And I'm like, let me get that in black. I like that. Let me get that t-shirt. $20? Fucking slap a 20 spot on there. Hell yeah. So I purchase it through PayPal. I'm not a mongoloid that just puts in credit card information just on any website willy-nilly. So I go through PayPal. Make sure it's PayPal. Go through there, give the $20, get the email, and they're like, "Hey, we'll thanks for your $20. We'll send you another email when we ship it." And this was weeks ago. This was at the beginning of March, actually, so almost a month ago. So coronavirus shit was just hitting. Shipping was iffy, but I forgot all about the shirt until I was checking my email, like 10 days or so or more after I ordered it. So I checked my email and I'm like, I wonder what happened to that shirt. I never got an email saying that it shipped. So I look at the email. I'm like, yeah, it said they would send me another email when the shirt shipped. And I'm like, well, fuck. Like, let me view my order. Maybe something happened. So I click the view my order link and it goes to the website and it was a domain for sale. The website that I had bought the shirt on was up for sale. Like the domain. So I could buy the website. Or the domain for the website. And then I'm like, maybe this was a mistake. And then I go to the purchasing website. Like after you put shit in, like after you order something, then you go to your cart. Then you go to where you pay and stuff. Separate websites. So I go to where I paid. That domain was also for sale. So I'm like, I don't think I'm getting my shirt. I messaged, I called my bank immediately. I'm like, I think I need to do a chargeback TCF. Like, if you could just give that to me, because I don't think I'm getting this shirt. Like, here's the website address so you can, and the email so you can see that I ordered it from this website and it's no longer available. And they were like, did you do this through PayPal? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, you got to call PayPal normally first, and hopefully they'll resolve it. And if they don't, come to us. And I'm like, I guess, like, extra steps, right? To do anything in your life, especially get back money. There's always extra steps, right? So I talked to PayPal, and they're like, oh, you got to contact the seller first. I'm like, okay. So I contact the seller, nothing. So for about 20 or so days, I've just been waiting. I think I have to wait till like the beginning of April before they escalate it and actually give me the charge back through PayPal. It's a long, grueling process, but I stupidly ordered a shirt from a random website. Just random, unsecured website, of course, but I went through PayPal to pay. I made sure it was PayPal. So I didn't lose my credit card information, didn't get my identity stolen. That's a plus. So I did that, didn't get my shirt. Domain for sale. That's nuts to me. But that enforces the idea that I need to only buy stuff from Amazon, from Target, from, Walmart.com. Like something credible. Like eBay, Craigslist, random websites. They seem... Everybody's had those bad experiences dealing with those websites. It's like, fuck, this is just enforcing the idea that I need to go to these conglomerates, these massive $100 billion profit corporations just to buy a fucking t-shirt so I make sure that I get it. And maybe they just got closed down because of the coronavirus. It's like, well, then I feel bad, but I'm not like... I don't know this person's situation. I'm not just going to let my $20 slide, right? That $20, do you know how many McDoubles that could buy you at McDonald's? Exactly. You got to think about you, okay? You got to think about the future and what you're getting at McDonald's and if you can actually afford it, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck. Because you're talking about groceries being expensive when you're on minimum wage. When you go to McDonald's...
and you slap like, what is it, like less than $4 on 2 McDoubles, dude? And even like, give me a cup of water. Like, I don't even need a pop. $1 for pop? Fuck you. Too expensive. Slap me some water. They give you a little water cup, 2 McDoubles, dude, under $4, you got it made. You go to the store, the fuck you get for $4, dude? The fuck you get for $4? I guess like Jack's pizzas were like 4 for $10. So that's like, what's the math on that? It's difficult, just super difficult math. Boy, you getting two Kraft mac and cheeses for $4? You gotta get milk. You gotta get milk for that, dude. What are you doing there? How much is milk? Milk's like $2 something. You're pushing it. You're at $6-7 now. When you could have just went to McDonald's, get 2 McDubs and water for under $4. You're set. You're set. I'm telling you. Do not listen to me. do not listen to me. If you've come here for bad advice, you have received it, okay? Buy groceries like normal people who aren't fat, okay? And make sure it's healthy. Another thing with the coronavirus. Apparently, the administration is suspending indefinitely the EPA rules, citing the virus. The EPA is the what is it, like the Environmental Protection Act. So the shit that stops oil companies from drilling anywhere, fracking anywhere, and from coal companies like mining coal wherever the hell they want. It prevents them from doing that. And apparently they're just like, we'll suspend that. We need to boost the economy. What boosts the economy more than a fucking new oil well in North Dakota? You know? What does that? What does that? Fucking opening a McDonald's in Sartell, Minnesota? You think that's going to do it? You think giving 20 people jobs and McDonald's is going to do more than giving 20 people jobs at an oil field? You think that's going to do that? What's the return on that? What's the profit? Whatever. I don't want to really get into politics, but I thought that was pretty crazy. Look at what the Republicans are doing and the conservatives are doing during this time. They're trying to use it as an excuse to get more money, to pay their friends, and to somehow find loopholes in laws that allow them to do the shit that they're doing. But that's all I'll speak on it. We actually got 40 some minutes of podcast, and it is just me. If you have made it this far, congratulations, you fucked up. We'll see you next time. I'll see you next time. We might see you next time. Bye. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the episode. You could catch us currently at the Prime 4 podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Podcast Addict for audio only. If you want to see how fugly we look in real life, you can also catch us on YouTube under the Prime 4 podcast.